Good morning. This is Patrick Sheriff reporting to you, not live from Abikan. Um, it's June 2nd, and I completed my first ever oil painting landscape. This is on a board that's, I think, 60 centimetres by 73 centimetres, an F20. Anyway, yeah. I'm quite pleased with this picture, especially as my dad said it's probably my best picture so far, so high praise, and he does have an A level in art, so he knows what he's talking about. But anyway, just to tell you a little bit about this picture, it's painted on a board, so it's made of wood, because it's half the price of canvas, but I've noticed, although if you paint on wood, it's got a very smooth finish, and you have to put some paint on it first to prime the back, otherwise the paint soaks into it. But the other, the good point is you can apply paint smoothly. The bad point is it's quite heavy. This is why you have canvas. Apparently canvas was developed as a way of decorating churches so that you could hang it from high, cover a vast area, and it's very light. Anyway, I just bought it because it's half the price of the canvas, and I'm just in the practicing mode. This is a field in eastern Abikan, on the edges of Abikan, and there's a little farm there, and it looks something like that. I took a liberty of not including all the farm buildings, just a couple of them. This came about because I had an art lesson. I have an art lesson every two weeks or so, twice a month. And they took us out to a shrine, nice Japanese shrine, and they had very nice statues and picturesque Japanesey, a shrine. You could imagine samurai walking around and all that kind of stuff. Although it wasn't particularly touristy. I mean, it's made for Japanese people to go and give their respects. But anyway, I don't know, I wasn't that excited by it. I've seen them many times. Well, I suppose it's just a field. How many fields have you seen? But while everybody was busy sketching the lion dogs that guard the entrance to the shrine, which I also did, I just wandered around a bit, and around the back of the shrine was this rather nice scene, pastoral. I don't know if ideal, but it was just a field, an empty field, and I just looked out there, and I was standing in the shade, and I looked out, and I just thought, that's a nice view, and I did a sort of a charcoal sketch, took a couple of pictures as reference photos, and then got back to the studio here, my spare bedroom, and thought, well, I'll try doing an oil painting of it to capture what I did. So this is a kind of it's half memory, half remembered, half from being there, and half from this sketch and some photo references. So it's fairly realistic, but also imaginary as well. And as a picture, it works quite well. I mean, the first thing I did was I painted the sky blue, marine blue, French marine blue, and put in dabs of white for the clouds, and enjoyed doing the brushstrokes, trying to sort of feeling the inner John Singer Sargent in me, like that. I did have a picture reference of the sky, and I'd sort of vaguely, roughly followed it, but I thought more about the composition of the picture, and that's perhaps what makes it, if it is any good, that's what makes it good. All of the lines, and including the clouds, go to one focal point, and in the focal point, just there, is a whopping great electricity pylon, which I put in there impressionistically, because electricity pylons are not particularly interesting. But if you see all the lines, where this is a ploughed field, and all the lines converge more or less around here. And you've also got triangles. Apparently that's what you've got to do in landscape art. This is a sort of vague triangle pointing this way. This is a triangle of trees pointing. Everything is pointing, so the focus is here. I was going to have the wires coming down as well, that would then circulate the view around there, but I couldn't figure out how to put the wires in very faintly. I don't know the technique to do that, and I thought it would perhaps detract from the whole image. The other thing to note was it was a very sunny day, so the field of bare earth was reflecting light from the sun. But of course, I did clouds in the sky, and actually, it's a bit odd because I think it was a completely cloudless. This is from cloudless sky, but I've got clouds in there because I thought it was more interesting. So it's just slightly odd, not completely realistic, but there you are. Also, there wasn't this sort of track going around to the back there, but I thought it needed it to bring your eye back into the centre. Other little touches. These leaves, I put, I think there's 2 or possibly 3 kinds of green there, and I did very delicately did a couple of leaves in quite realistically looking, and used the back of my paintbrush to scrape the veins of the leaves through. But because it was sort of imaginary, I can't remember what the leaves actually looked like or what kind of tree it was, which is a bit of a failing there. However, there you are. It's a typical Japanesey farmstead, sort of, just on the outskirts of the city. What I particularly like are the colours of the roofs. This one particularly, this blue, you see this as a French marine blue, but you see that blue, the corrugated blue roofs, quite a lot. And often with a yellow, which are complementary colours or opposite colours that often go together. But you do see that in the landscape. And what else to say? Yeah, the farm buildings are all sort of slightly washed out because they are in the distance and also in bright sunlight. Well, they were when I saw them. I've since put clouds in the top, but oh well. Anyway, and so I enjoyed doing that, and I thought next time I'm going to do it en plein air and paint the whole thing on location. So I got myself a little box from Amazon, little portable easel. Well, actually, I'm using my old camera tripod, and I just screwed 2 holes in this wooden box over here. I can put the box on there, and I can go on location and paint and finish it all on location. So I'm going to try doing that in the future, perhaps next week before it starts getting really hot. Anyway, yes, did I say what the name of this was? This is called Fusa, which is the area of Abikan. There you go. Have a good one.